Alright, so how's it going, everybody? We are back in the VAB playing KSP2, and this is going to be the second rendition of Colonizing Duna. We are going to be building a space station and parking it in orbit around Duna. If you missed the first video, I definitely recommend going and checking it out. I actually launched a rover to the surface of Duna, and that went pretty well. It's pretty stable. It drives great for a rover, especially in KSP2, so I definitely recommend going and watching that. Anyways, we are here building this space station, and it's coming along good. It took me a few tries, and I kind of just cut those out as I do with a lot of the videos. I'm just going to get through this kind of quickly since this is going to be another setup mission, you know. We're still really early on in this Duna colonization, so we're just going to try to get through it. This video actually took me a little longer than anticipated to get done because I went through about 3 designs here. We end up launching in 3 stages, like 3 parts. I have this main part that I launch, and then I launch to like arms, solar panel arm, dash communications. But I tried to launch them all together just in a one-piece launch, and it just did not like it. I tried everything basically to get it going like that in that configuration, but it just proved to be a little too tall of a task. I came up with this truss system as kind of like a stabilizer that you're seeing me build here, and it worked really well. I've done this in KSP1, so it's not a new design that I'm using, but it really works pretty well to stiffen up a, long rocket like this. There are some drawbacks. Obviously, it's going to have drag and everything like that, but that's the KSP way. Just use more boosters. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and throw this on the launch pad and see if Bob can get this behemoth in orbit. Flies pretty well. It's really stable, for what I thought it was going to be. There's a little bit of wiggle there, but, not too bad. Not too bad at all. It's pretty controllable as well. I'm a little late on my turn for that, real optimal transfer of momentum from vertical to horizontal. I was a little shy to, really give her the beans and turn it because of my previous designs. They kept turning because of all the drag on them and everything, just being generally wobbly, so. But that's okay, we made it to orbit, and here we are planning our maneuver to escape Kerbin's sphere of influence. Just gonna do a small gravity assist around the mun. It helps out a little, saves, around 100 delta V or so, maybe a little less. But yeah, we are going to go ahead and do that because it's good practice. We don't want to hit, so we'll tweak our burn to be just above the mun there. We're going to come into we're going to have a pretty close encounter. Nice shot of the moon there. And then we will fly out of Kerbin's sphere of influence. Alright, so here we are orbiting the sun, and we will plan the maneuver to Duna, which is pretty cheap if you get it at a optimal transfer window. It takes about a little less than 900. ahead and exit out of our maneuver and eyeball the rest. And that should work. We'll warp around to our encounter. And warp to our periapsis for our retrograde burn to circularize around Duna. All right. Go ahead and warp through this burn. All right, perfect. We'll have a small inclination fix. Not much. Looks pretty good. I'll just eyeball it. Okay, we will shoot for a orbit of about 100,000 meters, 100 kilometers. Oh, careful of that. We don't want that. Okay, that'll work for now. And sure, I will knock that off a little bit, you know, trying to tweak my apoapsis down here a little bit. So we will bring this down, and then we will do all the little fine tuning that we need to get at that good, perfect 100,000 meter orbit, which I actually don't even maintain after the rendezvous with the next parts of this. So it's kind of futile to get it at that perfect spot, but we do it anyways. So yeah, here it is in orbit. We're going to go ahead and bust off the structures there that stiffened the frame. We'll do a quick flyby just to show you guys. And hop right back in the VAB to start assembling the panel parts. So these aren't going to be anything too special. Like I said, I tried to do this all as a one-piece unit, but it was just really wobbly. And even beyond that, once I got into space, the Kraken was having a time with it. I even had some attempts where I made it to Duna. I put everything in orbit around Duna, and then on my rendezvous, things would go wrong. Like the station would want to spin uncontrollably. So I ended up just doing this, and then even with this, I had problems decoupling after I docked with the station. So I actually fixed it off camera and did a little editing magic. You guys won't even really be able to tell. But yeah, after I dock the second arm, I actually don't show the decoupling of all the structure on it, and that is because it was so glitchy that I had to re-dock, and I had to do it differently. I had to basically decouple everything right at the last second before I was about to dock, and that was the only way I was able to get that done, but it worked. So we won't try to fix what's not broken. So on the second launch of this, like the second arm, I changed things up because I had such a problem docking. It's not too much better on the second attempt because, like I said, I was having a ton of problems getting rid of the changes that I made, and plus the ones that I already had before. I do get it to work though, so we will go ahead and throw it on the launch pad and get going into orbit. I'm gonna just go ahead and kind of skip through this one. I'll just show you some shots, a little video montage, I guess, of me flying to Duna, coming out of Kerbin's sphere of influence. Gonna go ahead and do our burn to Duna, then get to our encounter with Duna, and then here we are adjusting our encounter with the station. Alright. Kill off all our speed, and then we will burn towards the target. Looking really good so far. And once again, this is a terrible dock. This isn't really a dock you should try to replicate. I was kind of lucky I was able to get these. I guess it wasn't really luck, it was just sheer tenacity at this point, but yeah, it took me a few tries. And as you can see here, this is kind of the way that I was able to make it work. Nice. But yeah, I had to switch to the main part there at the last minute and kind of swing into the docking hub of the panel arm. And here it is, all assembled. We can go ahead and shoot the second rocket. And we're just going to do the same. We'll go ahead and skip through this launch. Get into Duna. And we can work on a little rendezvous with the part here. That should work. I had a glitch here to where it wasn't giving me like the information on my intersect there. But, you know, it works. We're able to get it. Just I was a little bit in the blind about what I was doing a little bit, you know. But like I said, we just follow the proper regular protocol and everything comes out good. Still no information. But, you know, that's okay. We really didn't have a huge difference in velocity, so it was okay. And while you guys watch me dock this last part, as you can see, it's going to be a little bit of a different dock since I did change the configuration of this. And it did go better, as you'll see, but yeah, so what I got planned for this colonization is, I think the next step will be to send a rover out here, or not a rover, a lander out here that I can use to taxi Kerbals in between Duna and the station. And then after that, I think we will probably start working on the base. And I think I want to have maybe a few base locations at kind of like different points of interest. I'm not 100% sure where yet. You know, I'm going to do some scouting and some research, but I'll probably definitely have one on one of the poles and, you know, maybe some other features Duna has. It's kind of barren where my rover is right now, so I'll probably be relocating that, which that's going to be a fun journey. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just dock this part. And then that's pretty much it. This is going to be complete. And that's where I will leave you guys. As always, I really appreciate you guys watching. If you guys could like and subscribe, that would help me out even more. But yeah, I hope you do, and I hope you come back and watch the next part of this series. I think I'll maybe stick to Mondays. I'll try to get them out every Monday. But I hope you enjoyed being here, and thanks for coming.